with some of you guys got to get home past your bedtimes.
Can you talk about your bigs? They're huge tonight.
Well, they were awesome. I mean, they've really developed. And I think one thing, let's not forget, I felt like we had one of the most dominant bigs in the country coming back this year in Mo Crevis. And, he's out, and these other guys have done an incredible job stepping up. I mean, we've always been a program that's taken a ton of pride in our bigs and their development. And listen, everyone's a work in progress, but, the way Henry and Tobey played today was pretty special. I mean, they really took the challenge of the physicality. And, Texas Tech's a hard team to play. I mean, they find one thing and they can pick on it over and over again. And they kept kind of going to, 15 top in on that short roll, and our guys did a good job battling. I mean, he made a few, but he missed a bunch. And so it was a heck of a battle and a heck of a basketball game.
Grant said that he felt your urgency this time around was much greater than the first meeting. Just your thoughts on
that. For sure. I mean, we've been talking a lot about habits, and I've told you guys about that, and you want to practice your habits and pressure moments. I mean, that's a really cool thing to be able to do. But we also talked about having a response. Texas Tech didn't get our best look, and I felt like we were right in the game last time. But, probably these games, at Lubbock, at Tucson probably really mirrored each other. The team that won probably controlled the game for the most part. The opponent is good and hangs around and gives themselves a chance. And then home court ultimately at the end was held. And fortunately we were able to do that today. I thought for the most part in the game, I thought we were in good position. But I feel like they had just a few timely plays, and whether it's a breakdown by us or just kind of a crazy possession. I think in the first half we're up 8 and playing a great defensive possession, extra pass. At the end of the shot clock, and loose ball, guy runs by, and I think they hit a 3. We go down on offense. KJ misses a wide open layup. I mean, how often is that going to happen? And they come down and hit another 3. I just feel like there was a lot of random scenarios like that. And when that happens, sometimes you just got to take a breath and say, we're fine. Don't panic. Stick to the process. And I thought our guys did an amazing job of that tonight.
The home court, obviously they had a great environment there. You had a good environment here tonight.
You're only that good? That's good? Is that good on the Bruce scale, not great?
They're both good. I'd say.
I mean, you said they're great, and you said we were good. I mean, on your scale, I mean.
I was a big man, but they were both good. I mean, what I'm saying is how much of that affected what happened tonight, just flipping the script as far as where you're playing.
Listen,
your guys have better
we
habits,
all know there's a advantage to playing at home. I mean, that it's well known in college basketball. I think that, and us not playing, what we felt was up to our level of physicality or attention to detail. Obviously, we were able to address some things, from the last time we played them. But that being said, the margin of error was still really, really small, and luckily we were able to get out on the right side of that today.
Played Waka and Henry a few times together, a lot, if you will, and then you were able to go small too. So you kind of changed it up a few times in different ways.
When Trey goes out, our rotation changes a little bit. And to be honest with you, I mean, I did not know Trey wasn't going to play till, closer to the game. And one of the things we were practicing initially was playing the 2 big lineup. I just thought it would be important in this game. I thought we got crushed on the glass so bad by these guys last time. And listen, we were planning on playing 2 bigs to start out the season. And then Mo gets hurt. Things change. So I definitely think Henry and Tobey playing together can be something we can see down the stretch of this season, and I think there's a lot of advantages to it. I think Tobey did a great job defensively, no matter what position he played today. I thought Henry was really impactful around the rim today, changing shots and then coming up with rebounds around the basket.
Grant said that he thought you guys were more physical than Texas Tech in every way in this game. Do you think that is just the nature of the team that you have, or do you think the Big 12 has maybe drawn that toughness out of it?
I've always thought we're a physical program. There's different levels to the physicality, obviously, with like Houston probably being at the top of the list. I've always felt like, I love physical basketball. It's nothing we ever shied away from. But I also know in this conference, you got to be built for it. And if you're not, you're going to get crushed on the glass. And you're going to get crushed physically. And and you know, you can't wilt on your drives. You know, their guards aren't big, but they're really physical. Their guards do a great job as you start penetrating and get down by the elbow, just timing their contact just right to kind of knock you off your drive line. And so when you went back and watched the first time we played them, we got knocked off our drive line and we were doing things that I've never seen our guys do before. And that's a response to their physicality on defense. They might not be big, but they're physical and smart. And so I thought we did a much better job today just of you know, kind of asserting our physicality on them across the board. And I'm sure if we end up playing them again, it'll be a knockdown, drag-out team where both teams are going to be throwing a lot of punches. So it'll probably be a very interesting game.
It was 5-6, and I think some of the fan base was thinking maybe it's an NIT year, and now here you've gone 12 out of 13 or something like that, and they're going to be ranked in the top 20 on Monday. What do you attribute this turnaround most to?
I mean, this is what we expected. I mean, I didn't expect to be 5-6, but I didn't panic. I mean, it doesn't mean there wasn't a sense of urgency. We rolled up our sleeves and figured it out. I mean, you know, we're a program. We've never, you know, acted like we're perfect or we're above losses. You know, we're just like anybody else. And we got a bunch of great dudes. We got a great coaching staff that's all in. And we've rolled up our sleeves and we fought. But I also know this, there's a humbleness to it. And, you know, we're playing a Kansas State team that's, you know, probably as hot as we are. And they didn't start out like that. So I know going on the road, they look pretty good playing Kansas today. So, you know, we got another challenge. I mean, we could be on a one-game losing streak come Wednesday morning. So I think you just have to have a game-by-game approach. And listen, the Big 12's been a ton of fun. Was it fun when we were 5-6? I don't know. Were we 5? We weren't 5-6. That's we weren't 5. We're 4-5. Yeah, we're 4-5. We're 4-5. Yeah, thanks. There you go, Bruce. There you go. When you're back in good graces, Bruce. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, but you know what? I'll say this. I remember there's moments when I'm sitting at my table at home and you know, I look right at the Catalina foothills and out the other side I got downtown, got great views, and you know, it was tough. It was tough, but I also thought, man, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun trying to figure this out, you know, and sometimes you just got to roll up your sleeves and you got to be built for it. And for me as a young coach, you know, who's kind of a newer to this head coaching thing, you know, we'd had a lot of momentum kind of constantly and never kind of played from behind. So it was great for us to learn how to roll up our sleeves and, you know, and literally double down on what we do. Not panic, double down on what we do and rebuild it. And that's what we did. So to me, it's galvanized our program.
Along those lines, you guys have a peskiness to yourselves. I can't remember seeing that in the last couple, 3 years, but this is a team that has that. Agree?
I mean, yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, I don't know if I would agree that we didn't have it, but you have guys like JB and KJ. They're scrappy. You know, I mean, Caleb's defense these last couple of games has been supreme. He's really rose to the challenge. You know, I mean, Tobe. I mean, I don't know if he's scrappy or thumpy or whatever you want to call it, but he's something. You know, he brings it. And Henry really responded today. These guys punked Henry last game. And so obviously we challenged Henry, and he was there for the fight today.
I did notice, you know, he was banged up coming into the game with the hand, and then he was just diving all over the floor, a lot of physicality.
KJ's a stud, and I mean KJ. I mean he has a couple of layups that I know he's not going to sleep good tonight about, but like he had a 20-point game, you know, and he's playing a little bit banged up. I mean the impact that he's having on our team is crazy. And what he's doing defensively, like that into that BYU game, there was a couple of possessions where they ran a couple of ATOs, and he literally guarded it by himself. Nothing we had scouted, you know, and it was super impressive. So, I mean, he's doing things on the court that are very unique and elite of the elite. And it's a huge reason that we're playing well right now.
He was almost a little too physical or too handsy, defense, picking up quick fouls.
Maybe.
Carter's kind of in that same boat from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, Carter's learning. I was worried about Carter and the fouls today, you know, playing against a guy like Darian Williams who's really experienced, and it'll be a great lesson for Carter. I mean, I think there's going to be some really good things to watch for film, but there was also a lot of possessions where Carter's just length and athleticism and effort impacted the game, and I thought Carter blended into the game brilliantly today.
Out that
You kind of touched on that before, but Did you challenge Caleb to be better defensively, or is this something he kind of took upon himself?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I told him, Caleb, you do whatever you want. I mean, I love you, man. I mean, of course. Come on, of course.
His career probably.
Of course, we've challenged him, and he's rose to it. You know what I mean? Caleb, we all know he has an interesting story, but he's ours, and things haven't always come easy. And you know what? I mean, I'm hoping that down the stretch of his career, that he's able to put it all together for an extended period of time, and he has for the last couple of weeks. So, you know, we're going to keep scratching and clawing for it, and we're going to keep challenging.
Once you found out that Trey wasn't going to play, did you decide to go with basically a 7-man rotation at that point, or consider?
I mean, we looked at some other options. We talked about some other things, but as the way the game played out, you know, we just felt like that. You know, I mean, I felt like that was what was going to give us the best chance to win. It's kind of tighten up that rotation, and a lot of teams in college basketball are doing that right now. You know, listen, I love having 8, 9 guys. I have no problem with that. E-Man is Oklahoma State helped us. You know, Conrad at A-State helped us. I mean, I love having those pinch hitters, and to me that says a lot about a program when your 9th and 10th guy can step in and pinch hit and say something. Today we just didn't really need much pinch hitting. You know, we kind of went with the main guys.
You said yesterday you thought the Trey wasn't an issue. What changed?
I mean, listen, all this medical stuff, Bruce, it's way beyond me. And Trey, he's not done for the year. I don't know if he'll play Tuesday. Obviously, I'm hopeful he will. You know, and Trey's an important piece to our puzzle. And he's a winner. He's a high character guy. And you know, maybe this little break, you know, and tending to this concussion will maybe kind of help reset him a little bit and allow him to kind of rest up and finish strong would be my hope.
Yeah. Coach, how important is the transfer portal to you, you know, recruiting in the offseason, and can you speak to guys like Love and Bradley and how they've kind of progressed down the stretch and how important they've been for you?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the transfer portal, it's here and it's probably here to stay, so it's an important part. And you know, I think it's, you know, when it comes to roster building and management, you know, you have to be creative, and you can't be fixated on one thing. In Arizona's a program, I think we can go get 5-star recruits. I think we can get 3-star, you know, diamonds in the rough. I think we can go find a transfer starter, All-American. I think we could find a transfer, you know, role player. So I love the positioning of our program, you know, overall. I think we're all those different pools of recruiting, and including international, gives us an opportunity every year to build a really competitive roster. And you know, I mean, Love and Bradley are really good players. When you said transfer, I mean, for a minute I had to remember, that's right, they were transfers. You know, now that you have a guy's second year, I feel like they're ours forever. And so I love those guys, and I love their way they're playing. I mean, you can't say enough about JB. Rock solid, confident. I mean, he's getting to the point now where he's comfortable, and he's not even looking at me sometimes. He's calling the play, which, you know what, I love that. So I love what he's doing out there.
Last question here.
How much have you seen of K-State, and what do you think? I mean, I know.
Listen, obviously they're really talented. You know, they're really talented. I mean, they got some really talented players, and, you know, for whatever reason, they struggle to put it together. I mean, that's not for me to figure out. I'm facing the team that's won 5 games in a row and just beat Kansas at home. And we're going on the road to play where Kansas just played. So I'm assuming it's going to be an awesome environment and incredibly challenging. And you know what? But I'm also assuming our guys are going to show up and we're built for it.
Did you get to know Jerome Tang on that Middle East trip, or did you?
A little bit. Did you?
Just talked to him once.
Okay. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it was hard because both teams were kind of running parallel races. You know what I mean? We weren't like intermixed a bunch. But I've known Tang over the years, and he's a great guy. And, you know, he's done a heck of a job there. So I know this. He's going to be bringing the energy on Tuesday.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
All right, questions for Jaden Bradley or Tobe Awaka?
Did you guys ever have a conversation or a meeting or anything going into the Big 12, like something to the effect of we need to be tougher than we've ever been to win in this league?
I think that's something that we've been focusing on, like throughout the whole season. I think Coach Lloyd's been preaching it, from day one. When we got here in the summer, through preseason to the beginning of the season. So I think that's been a constant message.
You were a beast tonight, and we talk about that all the time from Tommy. Tommy talks about it all the time. But how does a 7-foot skinny dude be a beast too? Because he was amazing, Henry.
Yeah, I mean, just watching how he's progressed since I first got here, it's been amazing. He's a great player, even greater person off the court. Just seeing how he's putting work in the weight room, getting shots up before, after practice, things of that nature. Like, it's really no surprise, that he's showcasing what he is come game day.
Do you think that game at Texas Tech made a difference with him? They kind of shut him down in that game,
I mean, I'm sure he was in the back of his memory, but knowing him, he's a guy that gets over things really quickly, and just the way that he bounced back today was great.
For both of you guys, this seems like a game of toughness. You're physically tough and can do a lot of things near the basket. And Jaden, you're a physically and mentally tough guy. Is it kind of built for you, like tonight built for you?
Like he said earlier, like going into this game, we knew it was going to be physical. We wanted that get back that got us last time at their place. So, we knew it was going to be tough. Definitely down, Trey, one of our key players, one of our tougher guys. So, it was on all hands on deck.
JJ, Tommy Lloyd said that you're calling some plays out there, and he actually really likes that. Is that something new? And how do you, if so, or even if not, how do you decide when to call a play?
It's just really all coach, like the plays we ran previously versus other teams, depending on their coverage and, point two, one of the plays that we run and, it's a good play versus, one of the coverages. So, I just called it and, it was really C Love. He made the pass to, the Henry for the finish. So credit to C Love and Hendo.
Jade, you played a full season in the Pac-12. You've played a little over half of the season in the Big 12. And what are the differences, if you've noticed any?
Definitely physicality. It's tougher. The refs let a lot of calls go, good or bad. And, we just got to be able to play through those. Pac-12 is more, get up and down and, not as physical. But, it's definitely, perks of being more physical and the refs let stuff slide.
You had 5 steals tonight. You just talk about what you were seeing on the court and just hanging your hat on that defensive side of the ball.
Credit to our bigs, not letting their bigs get to their, their favorite moves, their left hand, right hand, and making them spin. And, we talked about being in the gaps, and we did a great job with that. And I was able to get some, loose ball steals from Henry knocking it loose or Tobe knocking it loose. So just really loose change from credit to our bigs.
You were great down the stretch, Toby. You were great early. Can you just speak to your mindset throughout the game and what you were looking for?
We threw a lot of punches early, and we had them on the ropes. But credit to them. They always came back. It was a big 3 and 1 offensive rebound, and coach has been harping. Next play, 0-0 mentality, and we stuck with it. It wasn't easy, and credit the coaches and the guys.
Jaden, you, KJ, and Caleb have played together for a year or so. Can you just talk about the relationship you guys have formed on the court?
I think it really starts off the court, knowing, what each other go through daily, good and bad, and, carrying that over to the court. We know where each other wants the ball and, our go-to spots. And, you can really see that at times on the court, and it's definitely, it's translating right now.
So you played with Henry at times tonight. That hasn't happened too much this season. What do you think you guys need to do to kind of build your chemistry, build your cohesiveness to make that an effective twosome?
I think it's just time. Like you said, we haven't done it too often, throughout the year. So I think the more reps we get at it, in game, during practice, the more we'll gel. But I think we're a great 1-2 punch. Henry's a great floor spacer. I'm more physical inside. So kind of having that dynamic, I think, is really tough for teams to guard.
What's different about it for you? When he's in there, do you have more room to operate as a result or anything like that? What do you mean?
Yeah, I would say so because he just draws so much attention. When he's setting the screen going for a lob, that big man is going to help over, which is, sort of opens me up for duck-ins. The defense is more spread out, attached to him because he's a three-point shooter. So when I get the ball in the post, I have more room to operate. Those guards aren't sinking down as much.
You're talking
About the physicality inside. Arizona outscored Texas Tech 48-28 in the paint today. Do you guys think that kind of bruiser mentality inside is going to translate to Kansas State and Houston, two of the more physical teams in the Big 12 coming up on the schedule?
I mean, I think it has no choice but to. You know, we know what those two teams are capable of, and sort of their DNA as teams. So the same mentality that we brought today, we have to bring to those two games as well.
Both of you guys, when you look at that game at Lubbock compared to this game, was it just the difference in toughness that you had this time that maybe you didn't there, or anything else really other than what you're saying?
I mean, I think the glass was a major component. Just making sure to box them out. I thought we did, you know, a decent job on some of their main guys, made it tough for their guards to get downhill, made them have to really think, you know, in the ball screens and things like that. So I think defensively, we were definitely on point, but I also think that rebounding-wise, we did a much better job.
Jaden, after that UCLA game, you guys are sitting at 4-5, and I'm sure it was a very frustrating time and all that, but did you see this as a possibility still, based on what had happened to this point, that you'd be 17-6 right now?
You know, we always got faith in our guys and faith in the team, and you know, it's all about us. And you know, I feel like we did a great job responding, and you know, going into the Big 12, you know, we had a chance to, you know, make an impact, and I feel like we're really doing that right now. You know, getting ourselves back on the map, and that was the main goal.
Jaden, do you ever get tired?
No, sir. No, sir.
Why not?
I mean, if you love basketball, you want to be on the court, you know, the whole game, and you know, I'm just doing whatever it takes to win games, and you know, if that's playing 40 or however minutes, I'm gonna do what it takes.
You take it easy, like on Thursday practices or something, a little bit more as you get deeper in the season?
You know, it depends on the day. You know, if we practicing hard, I'm gonna practice hard, and you know, I just gotta take care of my body on the back end, and you know, just continue to do that. So.
Jaden, when it comes to Caleb, the focus is almost always on his shooting, whether he's making shots or not. No one really ever talks about his defense, which seems like it's improved a lot this year. How would you assess Caleb as a defender?
Phenomenal defender. You know, coaches challenge him to pick his defensive energy up, and I feel like today he did a great job. You know, even though it doesn't show like steals or anything, it's just contesting shots. You know, being in the passing lane, taking away passes. So he's really grown at that end. He can be a great defender.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.